What's up, everybody? I am out here in the garden. I think I've been back in my backyard probably twice in 10 years. But now that we're moving soon, I figured I might as well go ahead and do that now. So I'm just going to show you guys what my husband has been growing in the garden. And behind me is the unfinished basement. Really gonna miss that. Had super high ceilings, and it's 4 bedrooms or 3 extra bedrooms that are back here. That's 1 bedroom. That's the stairs to go up. Then 2 other bedrooms in the back there. So I'm gonna show you guys. Let me turn this camera around. Hopefully, like I said, my signal stays intact. But now I can't even figure out how to turn it around. It's not letting me rotate the camera. Oh, they did an upgrade. All I had to do was tap the screen. Okay, I didn't know that changed. So yeah, so the steps right here to walk down. He's already picked the kale because, like many husbands, he does not listen. I told him I was coming out here to do it. I wanted to do it on video, and he done pulled everything and put it in the fridge already. So I'll show you guys that upstairs. But this is the yard that buyers have had a challenge with because of the brush right there, which is still our land. But we leveled this first part off right here. We created this level when we first moved in with intentions on finishing it. And too many job changes. Y'all know how it goes, and it just didn't happen. We created these stairs right here because the plan was to level this part off. What do you mean by high, Rose? We plan to level the lower part right there off. And then there's a creek beyond those trees right there. There's a little creek. What was that? The main reason why I stopped coming back here, y'all, though, was because of mosquitoes. So right here, my sister used to have a garden plot. My sister came to visit, and she put a gardening plot right here. But it doesn't get a lot of sun back here. So my husband didn't use that again. He went on the side. No, Rose, but the thing is, you're thinking as a city person. When I grew up, this is what my yard looked like. You know, my father used to always say, people not scared of bullets, but they're afraid of nature. And I don't subscribe to that. It really annoys me that other people are so paranoid about nature. For me, I don't like mosquitoes. Your children are safer back here than they are near that street where cars are going by and pedophiles exist, you know. So if it was, my only thing was I would want it to be fenced in because this may look country, but it's still the city. And, you know, sometimes it's been a long time, but we have seen teenagers like come from this. There is a subdivision. You can barely see that house over there. We've had teenagers like crisscross through our lawn. So, but he's definitely been back here with his dad. You see, there's a tire swing right there. They had a tire swing for a while. And then here's some of the stuff that husband is growing. I don't know what that is. I'm going to show you guys the raised beds that he has over here on the hill. He's got a couple of different plants right there growing. And then right here, this just like popped up. So while you guys are worried about the lettuce from the store, we got, look at this, kale right here. Kale. So he took most of it out already. He already picked it and put it in the fridge. So I'm going to, of course, now all of a sudden I want a kale salad. And then I don't know what this is here. But I have to give hats off to him because he was born in Manhattan. He's not a country boy, but yet he is. And he has tilled this. He built these and created them. So, you know, that makes me a little sad to leave his hard work behind. But whenever we do, you know, decide to buy again, we'll make sure that we buy land so that we can do this again. And maybe then I'll get more involved. I bring out my country girl roots. But this one here, you can see, this is the one he stripped. And he took all of the kale off of this one already. And it's inside. Right? And if a city boy can learn how to do this, anybody can. I will tell y'all, see if I can get this to turn around again. My sister was taught, my sister and I don't have the same mother, and she was taught by her grandparents how to grow. And so she has always had a garden as a renter, okay? My sister has had a full garden and always grown all her own organic fruits and vegetables, to the point where my sister has battled drug problems over the years, but still had her garden. So she was relapsing, eating organic fruits and veggies, which I always thought was quite hilarious. But she's so dedicated to her garden, you guys, that my brother was staying with her once. One of my brothers was staying with her once, and he stayed out too late. And so when he got back to her house, she locked him out. She had locked the door, because it was late. And he took a blanket that she had in the garden and slept and put it over top of him in front of the door. And when she opened the door and saw him sleeping with that blanket, instead of saying, "Oh, brother, I'm so glad you're okay," she snatched that blanket off of him and said, "That's for my strawberries," and took it back to cover her strawberries up because of the frost or whatever. She said they need the warmth. And my brother was like, "Really?" But yeah, that she does not play. So I have visited her house before, and she gave us a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I got to pick huge cucumbers right off of the vine. And so, if my husband wasn't doing it at this point with what's happening with our food supply, I would definitely I would definitely start my own garden of some kind, like, especially if you think about just the expense of some things. So I would definitely grow lettuce, because that's where the E. coli is constantly coming from, and it comes from animal runoff, like the factories are not clean, where they have the animals too close to the produce, or you'll have a situation where people aren't washing their hands, go use the bathroom and not washing their hands. There's human interaction to put that lettuce in the bag, right? It's not, even with sanitation practice, basic romaine lettuce, especially just for one, you could do it on a patio. If you have an apartment with an outdoor patio, you could just start with like one container. Oh, there we go. I would encourage you guys, just like I tell my cooking class participants, pray over it before you start. The Lord intended us to know how to grow our own food. So pray over it. Tell God, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I'm a city girl. I'm a city boy. I don't know nothing about this. But help me, God, to turn this, to plant this seed and it grow. And I show my children how to grow their own food and not have to be dependent on what's in stores. Because you know what? A time could come where you can't get to the store. And then what would you eat? You know what I'm saying? And some of you have fruit and food already growing in your neighborhood and don't even know it. And my friend Bolingo Ashe, can you come explain what's up here, MJ? He has done videos before showing things in the city of New Orleans that are edible. People are walking right past it and don't even know it. And so that's another reason why the Bible says we perish for lack of knowledge. I'm going to turn this camera around because hubby just came out here so he can tell you guys what this is. I know the kale, but I'm not 100% sure on everything else.
I'm not sure either. I got spinach.
Where's the spinach?
Right here. This is kale too. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember which kind.
This is kale right here, right?
Yeah, that's kale as well.
Yeah,
and I already took these off the stem.
Because I'm going to eat it.
But, yeah, it's just time to take it off and eat them. Because it's getting too hot. It's like, this is more so fall, winter, early spring vegetable. So that's when you can grow it.
What, be quiet.
Shut up, Tip.
What advice do you have if somebody wants to start a garden but they're a city person and don't know anything about it? They just heard about the, lettuce recall and they want to at least try.
First you want to do a little bit of research. You can go on YouTube or you can get a couple books. I even found books at Goodwill.
We don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole of research,
so
because then you could just be doing that and never.
You can get a container. That's at least, or pot that's at least no less than 12 inches deep. I recommend what is it? Some organic soil. Once you, what else do you get? Then you get a little pot. You can get non-GMO seeds. You can get them off of.
And aren't they also called heritage seeds? I think I've seen that name.
Heritage.
You want to make sure your seeds are non-GMO though, guys. Otherwise, you're not doing anything different than if you were in the store.
Right. Except the only thing is when you grow your own stuff, you don't have to worry about pesticides. You don't have to worry about all the chemicals that they put in the plant, especially if you use organic soil, because that soil gives it the nutrients that you need without putting that chemical fertilizer on it. What else can you get? You can get you some pots based upon how many plants that you have. Then you can start your plant inside. So you get like a little pot. You put your seed in it. Make sure before you put the seed in it, that your soil is moist, and then you grow it inside in the dark, not in the complete dark, but inside where it doesn't get direct sunlight, until it sprouts. It normally takes, depending on how good your soil is, like with these, it took probably less than 5 days, but this soil is from worm composting. And so it didn't take long for the seed to sprout. Then you wait another 2 weeks until you transport it into your regular pot, and then you just let it grow and water it. And I don't recommend using the regular, like the fertilizer that you get at, say, Home Depot or anything, because that's the chemical type fertilizer, man-made fertilizer, and it's more harmful to you. You just let it grow, just let it water, and just do its thing. But like kale, broccoli, cauliflower, those are winter type plants. So because it doesn't get that warm here, that cold here in Georgia, these pretty much survive 20 degree. When the weather dropped down to 20 degrees, I just covered it up with some plastic just to make sure that it wouldn't get.
So my sister could have used plastic instead of taking the blanket off of Reggie and putting it back on her strawberries.
You could use plastic.
I'm gonna tell her that.
But if you live in harsh weather conditions, then you probably want to get a greenhouse or just bring it inside if you live in a city environment. And you don't want to. You just want to get a couple of plants and you bring it inside when it gets too.
That is a lot of kale, man. Who wants some kale?
Yeah.
Because if we eat that raw, that is a lot. But you know what would be good? We should set a couple stalks to the side and see how long does it last fresh from the garden versus when you buy from the store.
Right. Now, I've had kale before that just continually grew and grew. I had kale for like 2 years. But since we're about to move, if I dig this up, it's going to automatically die. So I wouldn't even move it.
He loves kale, y'all.
Yeah, I love it. I eat kale almost every day.
Good grief. Like, really? Yeah, okay, what is this right here? I was going to ask you something else about the gardening, but I can't remember.
That's raspberry. That's going to have to... I'm probably going to take some of that and then leave some of it here because those...
Where's the raspberry? Which one?
The whole plant.
This is all raspberries?
Except for these weeds, which need to be pulled out. Yes. And you got to plant these alone because these will take over your whole garden. Like, this is like almost...
Think about how expensive raspberries are in the store, you guys.
So you can get strawberries, raspberries, and the best places to go get these are like, since a lot of cities are getting into urban gardening, some people will grow these plants and then sell them instead of just going to like Lowe's and Home Depot. So you go to like a local.
So this is a weed right here?
Yeah, that's a weed.
Okay, look. See, I helped.
Yeah.
That counts. Yeah. I should get credit for that.
I'll give you some kudos.
All right.
But these will take over your garden, so don't plant them next to anything. What else? Since it's springtime, I know a lot of people like to grow what is it? Tomatoes. Tomatoes are very low maintenance, very easy to grow too, and they grow around this time of year. You also start those inside as well.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. So I would say this is just based on me researching but never actually starting anything. In addition to figuring out your stuff, like don't get caught up at this setup. This is kind of next level. If you're starting with a basic container, is the knowing the season, right? Because you need to know what season to plant what.
Yeah,
so
that's where looking up the information, because like if you even go to like a Lowe's or anything, they're not going to know. But if you go to like a local grower or farmer or something, he's going to know. He's going to give you some good advice on what to do.
I thought you were already out here. Why isn't your son picking any kale?
I don't know.
Go over there and pick some kale so you can make yourself a salad. What's that next to the kale in front of it? Right there.
This?
Yeah.
This is spinach.
It doesn't look like spinach.
Yeah, I think that's spinach.
Wild spinach? Zion, pick some kale.
You know, they got different types of...
It's hot out here. You got the... No, that's not kale. I thought your son knew what was going on in this garden.
No, that's all right. I haven't...
But I asked you to pick the kale.
Every time I come out here and do stuff like this, it starts playing.
Look, Zion. MJ, don't pick it all so he can pick some.
Here, just come over here and peel. You got to come over here.
I don't know why you have that hot jacket on.
I like being hot.
You like being hot?
Yeah.
There you go.
He act like that was hard work. Zion, I thought you were out here helping him. You didn't show him how to take weeds out or nothing? My dad would have been working you, dog. You getting lucky. But then when it's time to eat, who's first? What happened to lunch? Did you make lunch for everybody?
Who? Zion?
Yeah.
No, I only made lunch for myself.
Say that again?
I only made lunch for myself.
Wow. That's real selfish, son. Did you know I was hungry? Huh?
No. But you can make something. I make me something. Everybody can make their something.
No, I want you to make something for me.
Look, I can make myself dinner. You can make yourself dinner. Dad can make himself dinner.
But you also got to be careful.
What kind of family and teamwork is that?
You also got to be careful what type of wood you use too. Like, don't use treated wood. This is treated wood, but I lined it with plastic.
So if they use treated wood, they need to use a lining just like this.
This treated wood is a little safer than the old treated wood, but I still wouldn't use it. The best is cedar, but cedar is more expensive.
Look at that kale, you guys. This doesn't even look like what they have in the store.
I can hear a dog something.
Okay. So we're about to go have a salad. I have some avocados in the fridge.
You should show them the kale that I picked out of the garden that's in the refrigerator.
Doesn't it look like this? Is the front door open, Zion?
No.
How did you come out the front? Is it unlocked?
Okay,
What are you smiling for?
Because
I think my signal will drop if I go back in through the basement. All right, so once again, this is the yard situation. It was scaring off buyers. But, you know, the Lord knows what he's doing in his infinite mercy. Just took the right person to see what we had going on.
Blueberry bushes right there.
Oh, right, those are? I showed them earlier, but I didn't know what that was.
Those are blueberry and then peppermint. And then you missed the mountain there.
Uh-huh.
Down there. I need to run that way. Yeah. I had some other stuff.
I think you should leave all that for her with instructions.
No.
What are you going to do with it?
Take it to your mother's house.
It's going to die.
No, it's not.
My mother's not getting ready to water anything. Sorry if you're watching.
It can take care of itself.
Okay.
It's already established. I'm not leaving my
Okay.
stuff here.
He's such
She
a
can have
pepper.
this because I can't move this. But my peppermint and my other stuff, my mountain mint, that's all going with me. This is some of my pride and joy.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I wish we were going to get a chance to enjoy these raspberries.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah, this is actually the side of the house, Nicole. Here's the front. This is on the side of the house, and you moved this over here because of the sun, right?
Well,
the backyard doesn't get as much sun. It only gets sun for like the morning of the day.
So my neighbor Bill and my neighbor found some old wood, and I wasn't planning on doing anything with this, but when we found the wood, either he found it or I found it. I can't remember, but anyway, because this was a few years ago, I decided to just do some raised beds instead of going back there because there was too many trees before I cleared most of the trees out. And,
yeah, he's cleared that before, and we should have cleared it before we listed, but Oh, it's done now, so it doesn't matter.
So,
But
then I made them, added them, and just pretty much dug some holes and just put them into the ground.
so listen, you guys. Here's a little marriage tidbit for y'all. I'm gonna be honest. He's been doing this for a long time. This will be the first time we've ever actually eaten anything out of this garden. But because I just feel like if you're not chefy, which he's not, why are you growing food and not asking your wife what to plant? To me, this makes perfect sense. I'm the cook. I don't want to be anymore, but I am. He's not getting ready to cook nothing. I think he puts his kale in his.
This morning. Be quiet.
That wasn't really true cooking.
That's energy.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, I didn't really embrace any of this because of that. And so now, of course, you always start doing a bunch of stuff. There's always a shift once you realize you're moving, when your life seasons change. And now, I've never even walked over here before today. Never walked over here before today. But I'm going to enjoy this kale, especially because I know that it's not contaminated. I think we already have some store-bought kale in the fridge, too. Okay, let's go look at what's in the fridge.
Wait,
And then I'm
talk to Dad for a minute in private.
in private. What are you talking to him in private for?
Okay.
All right, so let's go in the house. So, house is not quite as clean as it was, but I think we've done a great job, and we got used to keeping it cleaner. Oh, wait. I'm going to do a taste test first. It's interesting how this kale in my hands already started to wilt up some.
Lock the door.
Back
Yeah,
door.
I'll go over.
The door's locked?
Go from downstairs. Hurry up.
This is good.
Is it?
It tastes like a...
It should be a little sweet.
It's all, I don't know. Is this kale?
Oh, you gotta turn it. Huh?
It's softer, too. Then, this tastes like, lettuce. This is perfect
This might be
timing.
some type of lettuce. I can't remember.
That's why the wife needs to be involved. Now after I did this whole video
But there's kale
for
in there.
Facebook and my YouTube channel, he thinks that he's not even sure it's kale. So scratch everything. No, I'm just kidding. It's a leafy green, and it's great timing because I've spent 3 hours today watching health lectures talking about the importance of getting in leafy greens to fight disease and prevent disease. Get your leafy greens in. Okay, let's go in the house to the fridge. It's dark in here. All right. Now, I'm gonna take that kale and put some avocado on it, and some lemon and salt. Oh yeah. So that's what he already picked. So
That's from 2 plants.
Just planting 2 plants. So you could just do 1 plant. You could do 2 as insurance, but I'm gonna take this kale. I'm probably gonna add some olives. I have some grapes on the side. I got a little bit of herbs there. I have some
I'm about to find out what I planted.
red bell pepper, onion. I'm not even listening to you anymore, Mary. You're embarrassing me in front of my fans.
I'm going to look on this container.
And then orange bell pepper. I'm right there. And then here's some store-bought green leaf lettuce. Maybe I'll mix the 2 together and do like a chopped salad with that.
It is kale. It's called red winter.
Okay, let's see what.
Kale.
Let's show what the package looks. Okay, because I noticed the stalks are red. That's what I was curious about.
Red winter kale.
Okay.
So I was right.
All right, so there you have it. I just was inspired to show you guys the garden. By the way, for those of you who are obsessed with E. coli and like, oh, it's even in the veggies, nothing is safe. You can still reduce your risk. Not even if you don't grow your own, buy organic. Make sure you wash your lettuce. Even if it was already washed, you can still wash it yourself. Invest in a salad spinner. Just Google that. I'm not going to show you the one I have here. Invest in a salad spinner because you can dry it and it will stay fresh longer without the moisture. You don't have to worry about that with kale. Kale is a hardy green. It's going to stay fresh regardless. And this kale could be either in a salad where you take it and you dice it up, slice it up really small. Sometimes I've even run it through my food processor, just like 1 second pulse. And then take that and mix in avocado. If you mash your avocado in, you don't need any salad dressing. In the Rebirth, we're getting ready to go into a month of absolutely no oil. So we're leveling up on our health even more. In lieu of oil in a salad dressing, you could just do the avocado instead with the lemon and mash it all together. Pinch of pink salt or sea salt if you prefer. Research is all over the place regarding which one is better. Or you could also saute some of it so you could have some kale two ways. If you're going to do it raw, you definitely need to dice it up because it's a hardy green and it will aid in digestion if you chop it up a little bit more. And then you could, like I said, you could saute it or steam it with a little bit of red onion. And that would be really tasty as well. Season it and enjoy to your health. So here's what I learned today so far in the food education lectures that I was listening to. Dr. Furman and Dr. Greger, really good information. We should have leafy greens every day. We should have berries every day. We should have a form of bean every day. The best beans being chickpeas, lentils, and split peas are the top beans that you should have in your diet because of the fiber. And so the last thing I'll say about that, guys, is there's such a craze around protein, but there's no craze around fiber. And most people are deficient in fiber. That's why they're not having successful bowel movements. They're eating a diet that's heavily starchy. But if we had more legumes in our diet, that would fill us up more. You know, that full feeling that people think they can't get if they don't have meat. That's what the beans would actually do. And you could take the foods I just listed and throw them all together in a soup. Just don't cook them to death. You could also make a patty, onions, beans. And he also mentioned nuts and seeds every day. So a lot of it is what I already eat. Sometimes I just eat some extra things that I'm still working on refining my diet. So, you know, it's a journey. Your health is a journey. You're not going to find, at least as far as I'm concerned, a silver bullet, like this one thing you do, and now everything is perfect. You are constantly evolving, learning more information, testing your body. Sometimes your body doesn't like what somebody else's body likes, but within those categories, you know, you can still find things that work for you. If you're completely allergic to nuts, consider that you may be allergic to tree nuts and not legumes. Or you might be allergic to legumes like peanut, but you're not allergic to tree nuts like almonds and cashews. You may be allergic to almonds, but you might not be allergic to walnuts. You might be allergic to walnuts, but you're not allergic to cashews. So it's important to know, because what I hear too many people doing is they're allergic to one nut, so they don't do any nuts. The makeup, the chemical and genetic makeup of all nuts is not the same. All right, so I would be persistent about finding out, you know, what my specific allergies were so that I could make sure I'm enhancing my diet accordingly. All right, and then your seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds. I did hear good information today about flax seeds, but it conflicts with other research that I did before about flax seeds and phytoestrogen. So, you know, you got to do what you want. For me, I'm not ready to start consuming flax seeds again until I do more digging on and understanding phytoestrogen and estrogen dominance in the body. So there's just conflicting information out there. I mean, these two doctors are great, but you still have to, it's always good to fact check in different places and see what the consensus is, and then consider your own health history on top of that. All right, so if you are consuming those chia seeds and flax seeds, the best way to get your body to absorb them in a maximum way is to blend them into meal. Even a smoothie might not do it. They may still remain whole inside of the smoothie, and then they pass through your system whole, and you don't get any of the benefits, particularly your omega-3s, which is the main reason why you should be eating those. Not so true for hemp seeds. You can get those in either way. It's much softer, whereas the chia seed and the flax seed have a hard shell, so even chewing whole, it will be hard to get those down. So just a little consideration for you guys there. When you think about your meals every day, think about what your body wants, you know, and I know sometimes I eat for taste as well too, and things that I want. And I try to make all my food taste good, but I'm just saying, what if you built your meal plan every day thinking about, this is what I'm deficient in, this is what I need, and your body would think thank you, like in so many ways. And that's one of the things I would love to do is in the future is have meal plans designated for specific either deficiencies or healing modalities and things like that, just so that you know when you're eating, I'm eating to improve my LDL, you know, that specific. I'm eating to improve my blood sugar. This meal plan is targeted specifically to that. So by God's grace, I'll be able to produce meal plans like that to help people out, because it's just so much information out there. You hear all this science and information, and then you turn around in your kitchen, you have no idea what you should actually eat to improve. They give you random things, but nobody tells you how to put it together, any of that. So I look forward to sharing that with you guys in the future. I hope you enjoyed the garden tour and you feel inspired to at least attempt something on your own. It's getting rowdy now, so I gotta go. Bye, guys.
Put that back in there. Oh, yeah.